Call the meeting in order. Good afternoon and welcome to the 2013 reorganization meeting of the Spring Lake Heights Borough Council. I'd like to ask Mr. Delaney to please read the statement of compliance.
Pursuant to the requirements of New Jersey's Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this reorganization meeting was transmitted to the Coast Star and Asbury Park Press newspapers and posted on the bulletin board here in the municipal building.
Thank you. Please stand for a moment of silence and a pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Delaney, would you please read the election results?
Yes, Mayor. I am in receipt of the statement of determination from the Monmouth County Board of County Canvassers. A statement of the determination of the Board of County Canvassers relative to an election held in the borough of Spring Lake Heights on the 6th day of November in the year of our Lord 2012 for the election of the municipal officers for said Spring Lake Heights Borough. The board determines that at the said election, Sarah J. King and Christopher Tinkin were duly elected members of the Borough Council, full terms.
Thank you. At this time, we will administer the oaths to the newly elected official, to Mrs. King and Mr. Timken. Before we start, Mr. Timken, do you have anyone you'd like to introduce to the...
Yes, I brought with me today my wife Allison and my two daughters Gabriella and Francesca.
Thank you. Welcome. Mr. King, is anyone you'd like to...
Well, my daughter is late as usual. And I don't know who's coming, so.
Mr. King, you will be administer the oath first. And
okay.
That would be...
Okay. Can we wait till my daughter gets here? She's supposed to be on her way, so let Chris go first.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I,
Christopher Tinkin,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same and to the governments
and to the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state,
under
the authority of the people, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office as according to the best of my ability. So help me God.
So help me God. Thank you, Reverend. Thank you, sir.
Happy New Year.
Congratulations. Right.
I'd like to welcome Councilman Timken to our council. I look forward to working with you. I'm sure you have useful and worthwhile ideas you can offer us. And do you have anything you would like to say to the residents or the council members?
I'd just like to say that I'm looking forward to working with all of the council members and all of the residents of Spring Lake Heights. Thank you very much and Happy New Year.
Thank you. Anyone on the council would like to say a few words to Mr. Timken?
Congratulations, Chris. Happy New Year.
Congrats.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Happy New Year.
Congratulations. Welcome on board.
There we go. Just in time.
She's here.
She's YouTube.
This kid's got a whole lot.
3 kids, it takes a little process in the morning.
What she said,
Ready.
I state your name,
I, Sarah J. King,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same,
to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
all
the duties of the office
the office
as a member of the Spring Lake Heights Borough Council,
as a member of the Spring Lake Heights Borough Council,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God. I'll introduce my family. My daughter, of course, Tiffany Reaney, my son-in-law, Sean Reaney. Don't ask me which twin is twin. One is Colin, one is Declan. I have no idea who's who. And then my little sweetheart, Grace.
Gracie Grace. Grace.
Thank you. Gaga's sick, right. Gotta go up there and sit down so you can-
Welcome back, Sarah.
Thank you very much, Butch.
Look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Anyone else would like to say anything to Sarah?
Thank you.
And a hearty welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. I just want to say thank you to everyone for re-electing me. I certainly enjoyed my first term, and I hope that the second term will be just as enjoyable. Happy New Year, and thank you very much.
Next up on the agenda would be Borough Council appointments. The first resolution will be to select President of the Council. We need a motion and a second for that.
Mr. Mayor, I would nominate Sarah J. King to be Council President.
I'll second that motion.
Do we have, yes, we have a roll call. Do we have any questions?
And Mayor, before we take a roll call vote on Ms. King's nomination, I would ask, as a matter of proper procedure, if you would just ask if there are any other nominations for the office of Council President before we close the floor for nominations.
Are there any other nominations at this time?
Okay.
No, close that floor. Any questions? Roll call, Chair.
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes.
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Mr. Vorbach?
Yes.
Thank you. Next resolution will be R 2012-2, establishing council committees and appointing committee chairman for 2013. Would you want to, Councilwoman King, do you want to read these, or would you like me?
You can.
Mayor, if you'd like, I have it right here.
Okay.
Jay, you read them.
Whereas NJSA 48:60-3E authorizes the Borough Council at its annual meeting to establish committees for the council for the ensuing year. Now therefore be it resolved by the Borough Council of the Borough of Spring Lake Heights and the County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, that the following Borough Council committees are hereby established for the year 2013. Public Safety, Sarah King, Chair. Public Works, Buildings and Grounds, James Schuler, Chair. Finance, Richard Diver, Chair. Legislation and Grants, Patricia Cynthia, Chair. Parks and Recreation, Christopher Tinkin, Chair. Utilities, Thomas Vorbach, Chair.
Thank you, Jim. We have a motion and a second.
I'll make that motion.
Do you have any questions? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cynthia? Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Mr. Vorbach?
Yes.
Thank you. Next resolution will be R 2013, you say 13, R 2013-3, appointing planning board class 3 member, which would be,
I'd like to nominate Richard Diver.
I'll second that.
do we have any questions? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes.
Mr. Diver?
Abstain.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Mr. Vorbach?
Yes.
Skip the page, Jay. Next item on the agenda is our resolutions confirming the mayoral appointments. Mr. Delaney?
No, appointments are fine.
First, Resolution R 2013-04,
Jay's gonna do
the Borough Attorney Frederick Raffetto and the firm Ansel Grimm and Aaron.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Do you have any questions? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes.
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Mr. Vorbach?
Yes.
Thank you.
Resolution R 2013-05, appointing the Borough Engineer, that would be Joseph C. May, P.E., and the firm East Point Engineering, LLC.
We have a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes.
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Mr. Vorbach?
Yes.
Resolution R 2013-06, appointment of the Code Enforcement Officer, Zoning Officer, Joseph C. May.
I'll make that nomination.
I'll second.
Have any questions? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes.
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Mr. Vorbach?
Yes.
Resolution R 2013-07, appointment of the prosecutor, Colin Quinn Esquire, and alternate prosecutor, James Carton Esquire.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Do you have any questions? Roll call.
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes?
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Mr. Vorbach?
Yes.
Thank you.
Resolution R 2013-08, appointment of the public defender, Charles Shaw Esquire, and alternate public defender, Donald Greer Jr.
I'll make
Esquire.
that motion.
I'll second.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes?
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Mr. Vorbach?
Yes.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is the mayoral appointments that do not require council. I only have a few at this time. One would be the emergency management coordinator. I would like to install Rita Murphy as our borough's emergency management coordinator, Ms. Rita Murphy. And also on the environmental commission, I would like to install Ms. Kathleen Crippen as a commission chair. If she accepts.
I will accept. Thank you.
The planning board, we're going to further review that and have names possibly for the next meeting. Additional resolutions. Mr. Delaney, would you like to read these, or if you don't mind?
Resolution R 2013-09, awarding contract audit services to Hutchins, Farrell, Meyer, and Allison.
Need a motion and a second?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes?
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Mr. Vorbach?
Yes.
Resolution R 2013-10, awarding a contract legal services bond counsel to Dilworth Paxson LLP.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes?
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Mr. Vorbach?
Yes.
Resolution R 2013-11, awarding a contract financial reporting and accounting services to PM Consultants.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Do we have any questions? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cynthia? Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Mr. Vorbach?
Yes.
Resolution R 2013-12, designating official newspapers, and those newspapers are the Co-Star, Asbury Park Press, and Star Ledger.
Need a motion and a second?
I'll make that motion.
Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes?
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Mr. Vorbach?
Yes.
Resolution R 2013-13, establishing meeting dates for the year, and those are as follows. Regular meetings of the Borough Council shall be scheduled for the second and fourth Mondays of each month, except August and December, when one meeting will be held on the third Monday. When the second or fourth Monday of the month is an official holiday, the meeting will be scheduled for the following Tuesday. The schedule of meetings for the year 2013 shall be as follows: Monday, January 14th, Monday, January 28th. February, Monday the 11th, Monday the 25th. March, Monday the 11th, Monday the 25th. April, Monday the 8th, Monday the 22nd. May, Monday the 13th, and Tuesday, May 28th. June, Monday the 10th, and Monday the 24th. July, Monday the 8th, and Monday the 22nd. August, Monday, August 19th, which is the third Monday. September, Monday the 9th, and Monday the 23rd. October, Tuesday the 15th, and Monday the 28th. November, Tuesday the 12th, and Monday the 25th. And December, the third Monday, December 16th.
Need a motion and a second?
I'll second it.
Any question? A roll call, please.
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes.
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Mr. Vorbach?
Yes.
Resolution R 2013-14, adopting the cash management plan for the year 2013.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any questions? A roll call, please.
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes.
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Mr. Vorbach?
Yes.
Resolution R 2013-15, fixing the rate of interest on delinquent taxes and establishing a return check fee.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Any questions? A roll call, please.
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes.
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Mr. Vorbach?
Yes.
And the last resolution, R 2013-16, adopting 2013 temporary budget. And Mayor, that provides for temporary appropriation amounting to 26.25% of the prior year budget appropriations, pending the adoption of our regular municipal budget.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Do you have any questions? A roll call, please.
Mrs. Cynthia?
Yes.
Mr. Diver?
Yes.
Mrs. King?
Yes.
Mr. Schuler?
Yes.
Mr. Tinkin?
Yes.
Mr. Vorbach?
Yes.
Thank you. At this time, generally, we have a public comment session. If anyone would like to speak on anything, just step up to the mic and give your name and address. You may say anything you like. Okay. Yes, your motion to close.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor? Aye. There's no further business. Before we adjourn, I just would like to make a statement. I look forward to working with Councilman Tinkin and all the members up here. Hopefully I know we will do what's best for our community. We always do. We may not always agree how to get there, but in our hearts and minds, we always want to do what's right for the community, and I know the members up here agree with that, and they will work towards that, and I look forward to working with everyone here. Thank you. You may say anything later. No further comments? I'll need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I believe we have refreshments in the back, correct?
Yes.
If anyone would like refreshments, they're in the back. Thank you. Thanks for coming.